Sunday between 10 and 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, at 10:30, I go live with Brian Bittler and the Puck Dogs every single day. And then we have live shows at 6 o'clock on the weekends. And, of course, days like today, NFL Sunday, I'm live during the first games, the early games, halftime, and then also on Sunday Night Football. So a lot of Mitch today, but of course that means a lot of picks. So I'm excited about that as well. But anyways, we will get right to it. Of course, the way the computer pick show works, we use either A or B rated picks. We just pick randomly. And yesterday, I tell you, we screwed ourselves on that Texas game because the total had gone up in the mid 60s, and we gave it out at the opening total at 61.5. So we ended up losing, but everybody that took the pick ended up winning. So it's just one of those things. It all works itself out in the end, I hope, but it never seems to go in our favor on this show. But that's okay. We have a pretty good record anyway, and we'll continue to build on it. Our first pick for today's show is going to be the Mets at plus 140 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Big dog here for the Mets against the Blue Jays. And that is the first pick. Spread Knowledge rates this a B-rated pick. And the Mets have been hitting the ball pretty well on this trip to Buffalo. So that's going to be our first pick is the Mets. Our second pick of today's show is going to be the Nationals on the run line with Max Scherzer going against the Braves. Braves pitching staff just a shell of what it used to be. We've seen a lot of high-scoring games with the Mets and the Nationals, but Max Scherzer on the mound here for the Nationals, and Spread Knowledge acknowledges that. So the picks for today, the Nationals on the run line plus the Mets as a dog. Of course, I'll be back at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time in about 10 minutes or so with Brian Bittler and the Puck Dogs. We'll be going down the entire schedule of the day's games. That, of course, includes the NFL schedule today, the Major League Baseball schedule, the NBA playoff game, as well as the NHL playoff game. So I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Of course, if you want to try out Spread Knowledge, just click on the link in the description. Use the discount code Mitch. You get ratings on every single game on the board. Doesn't have a lot of data to work with NFL. So I'm not seeing any NFL. At least I didn't see when I looked this morning. So be sure to check it all out, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes for our main live show. Dogs.com and sportschatplace.com, and it is Sunday, September 13th, 2020, here with your free live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Thanks to everyone that joins us. You can see right here on our counter behind us, we have crossed the 20,000 subscriber mark. Ruffalo always says that that's the number of people that are banned or blocked for making comments on our show, but it's probably close as well. But 20,000 people joining our show, our channel. Pretty good stuff considering that our channel is really a fraction of the age of some of these other shows out there and some of these other channels out there. So I say what our goal is. Everybody knows what our goal is, but I lost the viewer here. There it is. Oh no, what is that? Anyways, I wonder what's going out to the world. There we go. I have technical problems right out of the gate. There we go. All right. It's like they send over an update for the software right at the beginning of the show. Anyways, we got a full card of NFL football today. We got Major League Baseball. We got NBA. We got tech problems. We got the Puck Dogs. We got Bittler. That's Zawacki, Ruffalo, and we have no plant-based crackers today. That was a good bit, but we're gonna have to move on to some new material. Anyways, let's get right into it. Brian, college football Saturday, how'd it go for you, and what do you got on tap today?
2-1 of my college football premium plays.
I got him muted. Anyways, sorry about that. Go ahead.
2-1 of my college football premium plays. Just didn't get Western Kentucky didn't didn't get the cover for me. But today, NFL, I believe, is the easiest sport to bet. I'm going 3-0 early. Get all three of my NFL plays for just $39.95. That's the early bookie violator and the golden ticket, all in that pass.
How about you, Rod? Someone's got a phone. It's got to be Bittler. Chris, what's going on today?
Yeah, for me it was shoulda, woulda, coulda yesterday. I had Clemson and Tulane kind of shaft me late, but you know what? It's like we say, we only look forward, we don't look backwards. And today I'm gonna destroy the books. I got 7-pack of my best NFL throughout the day. I've also got a 5-pack for MLB up at the website, or you can have it all part of my Stack Sunday Pro Pass on over at the website.
Nice. How about you, Rod? What's up?
For me today, I've got Sunday morning NFL pack, or I've got the Sunday mixed bag pack, which has the NBA, NHL, and the baseball all in it. Or you can get it all together in one big giant Super Sunday pack available.
Nice. I have an early NFL 3-pack. I have a late NFL 3-pack, and I also have checking. Oh, I know what I'm missing is my other light over there. My light's out. I already didn't turn it on. Is really what happened. But I have an early NFL 3-pack. I have a late NFL 3-pack that includes the NFL Monday Night Football game, and I also have a 6+1 where you get all 6 NFL picks of mine plus tonight's NBA Clippers Nuggets pick, which I am still. I think I'm still number one in NBA. I won yesterday, so hoping I don't check the standings all that often, but the last I checked, I was right up on there on the leaderboard. I'm either 1 or 2 or 3. I'm in the mix. It's like some people say stuff about you, the good stuff, and you're like, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm just happy to be part of the conversation. I think that's how I am in NBA, one of the toughest sports on the card, next to NFL football, which is really the granddaddy of them all of sports handicapping. It is where separates the men from the boys, and these are the toughest ones for bettors. The NFL takes in more money in Vegas than any other sport, and that makes these lines tight as a vice. I don't think there's any other sport where teams lose and cover more than the NFL. It always seems to come down to the last minute. I mean, these games always seem to come down to the last minute. Even on Thursday night, the Texans recover. They throw the ball down the field and they cover, right? I mean, that's how, it doesn't matter what the score is at halftime or, in the first 5 minutes or anything like that. The NFL, the back door is always wide open. But let's just go to the NBA first. We'll get it out of the way. I like doing NBA first, kind of like the way we've been doing it on the show. And then we'll get right into the NFL. But, Brian, quickly, the Clippers and the Thunder, speaking about leaving the door open, the Clippers, a chance to close them out. Most teams at 3-1, I think it's like at 60 or 70% or something. It might even be higher than that. When a team goes up 3-1, they close the team out. The Clippers unable to do that against the Nuggets. And I'll tell you, I talked about that fourth quarter defense of the Clippers on the show, and there it was. You got a team in the Nuggets that believes they can win. They were in a war series before this, and they came out of the war just right. Looks like this one's another war. What do you think?
Man, do I stink in the NBA? But in this game, I in these kind of series, the later it gets, the more I like the under here, and I got to believe that we're seeing a lot of contested shots in this game. I think both teams really buckle down, play defense. I like the under.
How about you, Chris?
Man, I'm going to take the Nuggets on the money line. The Nuggets are 4-0 elimination games this postseason, and they don't want to go home. You could tell from that fourth quarter the other night, and I just think that I think the Nuggets force another game here. So I'll take Denver money line.
Look at the balls on this kid. How about you, Rod?
I think we got a tight game here. Type out. Give me the under.
I forgot to do the podcast. I forgot to record for the podcast. Oh, well. We'll have to rejoin. But anyways, this is Mitch, of course, with the gang, Brian Bittler, Chris Ruffalo, and Rod Zawacki. For those of you just joining us, we're going over all of today's card. We just went over the NBA. Chris Ruffalo calling the Nuggets on the money line. The other guys liking the under. I'm on the over here in the Clippers Nuggets. I just like to go against Bittler in the NBA. Certainly become one of my favorite pastimes this season. Bittler says A, I say B. He says white, I say black. He says green, I say blue. It's pretty much been a pretty good strategy for me in the NBA this season. I mean, normally Brian, one of the best handicappers out there. I wouldn't be doing that in NFL or college football. That's for damn sure. But in the NBA this year, it's
horrible. I mean, the restart.
Since the restart, it's really been some of the worst. I think Brian sometimes in his NBA this year, I think he's gone too much on the line movement and not enough on the actual what's going on, because I think in what we've seen, and I don't know if it's, because we've seen it in baseball as well, is that without the crowd, a lot of this other stuff goes out the window, because it's like, like home dogs in the SEC and it's like this home field advantage is kind of out the window in a lot of these situations. And I think we're going to see it as we go through the NFL card, at least my feelings on it. And we're going to, we'll see how it plays out throughout the day. Of course, I will be live today, halftime of the early NFL games. I go live from the very first halftime all the way until the final game goes off again. And then I go halftime live on Sunday Night Football as well as Monday Night Football, and there's 2 games. So it's a lot of Mitch during NFL season. Not gonna say there isn't, but I don't know. People seem to like it, and until the comments get really brutal, I'll probably continue to do it. And they're gonna have to get a lot. You guys are gonna have to be a lot. The trolls are gonna have to work a little bit harder this year than they normally do. I mean, the same, like, you stink, you lose every pick, I just bet against you, all those. It's getting old. It's just so boring at this point. Get something original, like show some actual data, Let's see some actual data and records and things like that, some real stuff, and some pictures of yourself, like some accountability, and then we'll take you a little bit more seriously. But anyways, speaking of trolls, Bittler, we got NFL season is here, all right? We had Thursday night. There was no preseason, little taste. We've seen some guys opt out, and it kind of slid under the radar, right? This kind of slid under with guys opting out, and we're going to start to see it more in college football. By the way, the Big Ten is voting today. All of a sudden, it's like with the SEC not starting for another 2 weeks still. The Big Ten, actually, if they can get it going in 2 to 3 weeks, they're not going to miss much, And my guess is, well, the Pac-12 is not going to do it. I mean, they're not going to do it. It's like, because we're not going to really get into it, why the Pac-12 is not going to do it. But let's just say the Pac-12, what they do doesn't make a lot of sense to me anyway, because here's the conference that puts their games on a TV station that nobody gets. It's not even on DirecTV, and then complains about why they're not in the playoffs because nobody sees your games, right? It's like, anyways, I mean, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but we do have NFL Sunday. Brian, before we get going on the NFL picks, I know you are one of the best NFL pickers of not just of, last season, and, you're really one of the best NFL pickers out there. And, I say that 100% sincerity. It's not a hype show here. It is documented winnings. Brian, where do you start, like, with your NFL handicapping? Like, what has been your constant? And if you say fading my picks, I can understand it. But I think what's your constant?
I think in the NFL, what helps me is the amount of people betting on the NFL. The more you see, you really can get a feel for a line because of how much action is taking place. Now, when you counter that with the NHL, it's a little bit less better than Major League Baseball right now. So really what helps me is the amount of people betting on the NFL. That really helps me get a feel. And I start looking at a game early in the week, take its temperature by the end. One of those games was the Dolphins. Really love that early on, and not so much right as we speak this second.
Yeah, the thing is that for me, and on that same note, is that whenever you have a sport that more of the public is betting on, it's always to my advantage. It's like if you're playing against it's like all these people that played the stock market into during the COVID break to fix their gambling fix. See, I used to work on Wall Street, so I know who you're playing against, and you're over the long term, you're going to lose badly. those mansions you see in the Hamptons, in Wolf of Wall Street, and those other types of things, those are real. And those are built by those people, and they win a lot, a lot, man. So that's whose stock you're buying when you buy in the open market. You're not just buying stock that's phantom out there. That somebody has to be selling it. I know those people, and trust me, you're not going to win over the long haul. You will not. You will lose a lot of money. But anyways, I'd see the same thing, Brian. I see a lot of public action, and I think you see a lot of people, enamored with favorites and overs. And, in general, just because one team is better than the other team doesn't mean they're going to cover the spread. Chris, what do you look for in NFL football? Like, just out of the gate, like, what's your secret sauce?
For me, I tend to look at more just history between teams. I mean, especially within the division. But when it's teams that don't play each other all that often, I tend to look more towards recent form, how teams are playing. When it's early season like this, first week, I tend to look at what moves were made in the offseason, whether it's a coaching change, personnel change. If a team like Tampa Bay brought in all these players, how's it going to affect the chemistry going forward? It's just a bunch of little intricate details, especially with week one. But I mean, it's worked out well so far. So.
The Tampa Bay situation, right, with Tom Brady there, and obviously Leonard Fournette and Rob Gronkowski and a few other players, but they didn't have the preseason to bring it together. But Brady, a known team leader, and he had organized practices long before the things were going on. You think that translates into game production against the New Orleans defense that was pretty good last year, and a team that's gonna, this is a team a couple of years in a row now, right? That's had a couple really bad missteps in the playoffs after having spectacular seasons. And, a team that lost to Tampa Bay last year at home, and in hindsight, it ended up not mattering in the end because they lost to the Vikings in the playoffs. But had they beat the Vikings, they would have been on their way to San Francisco. And had they beaten the Bucs earlier in the season at home, they would have had home field throughout. Every game counts, whether it's as Pete Rose used to say in baseball, it's the games in the early weeks that makes those games in the late weeks mean something. Rod, how about you? What is your overall NFL strategy? Like your secrets, your one thing that you're always like looking at.
For me, you're always looking at who's starting, who's playing. For me, I'm a field guy, so there's no fans is tough. It's tough for me. I'm finding it's harder to you get more of a feel. You miss that crowd that hypes your team up when they're down and they're not doing so good. You don't get that, so it's a little bit harder for me. I'm getting a grasp of this. No fans, man.
Rod's going to ease into it. Most stadiums do have fans, just not full capacity. Most have 25 to 40% is what it's looking like. But we have, for me, it's like I can be difficult, and it's kind of like what Brian is saying. It's like you get the public involved, you get the rah-rah cheerleaders. This is my game, right? This is my element because I love to take the other side of an argument. And I think in the NFL is kind of the place where you get to do that. There's so many players that are hyped on ESPN and the other stations like that it's easy to not like these guys because the public will rally and will make a guy out to be a superstar before he's actually earned that. In the NFL, you really have to earn it. I think for every, Carson Wentz and Mitch Trubisky, who was drafted and was already anointed, right, that he's a legitimate NFL player before he ever took a snap. And there's for every one of those, that doesn't become a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, and what Mahomes is now, for the NFL. There just aren't that many of those guys. Put it this way: Peyton Manning's been retired for a few years. I'm still using him as an example. Tom Brady's at the end of his career. I'm still using him as an example. Mahomes is the only active guy that really in that category right now at quarterback. He's the only one.
Anyway, Russell Wilson's pretty.
I'd say Russell Wilson too. Russell Wilson as well. I'll give you those two. But that's two, and Aaron Rodgers, right? Would you say Aaron Rodgers? But even he's kind of at the other end of it right now. But Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, I'll give you those three. And there's probably a couple more, and people are going to argue. And, it's always a good stack of debate. But let's just say, who would you rather have, Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott? Who would you rather have? Patrick Mahomes or Kirk Cousins or David Carr or we can go on and on and on all day here. Or Tua? Who would you rather have? Any of these guys, right? Joe Burrow. Let's see what happens today. Speaking of today, let's get into it. My Dolphins, you guys know I'm from Miami originally. Dolphins season ticket holder still. I live in Hawaii, as far away from Miami as you can get geographically. Yet I'm still a season ticket holder for the Miami Dolphins. Crazy, right? New England Patriots and Miami Dolphins here, Brian. You talked about this game in your preview stuff. The interesting thing for me about this one, and I asked Brian, but people love hearing me talk, and they think I don't talk enough, so I'm going to kind of say something. But the Patriots seem to have more COVID guys than any other team. I mean, I don't mean COVID like that caught COVID. I meant that opted out of the season than any other team.
I think that has more to do with their contracts, probably. They want to guarantee themselves a lot of those guys are older guys that opted out. Maybe they were going to be cut by the Patriots, but maybe they cut veterans all the time.
They also sign a lot of veterans and get a little bit of mileage at the end of their career. Bill Belichick made a call to Aqib Talib trying to get him to come on. That just tells you what the secondary probably looks like for the Pats. What do you think here in this game?
I'm going to stick to my guns and stick with the Dolphins. It's not a game that I'm hot on right now. I'm not going to be betting a ton on, but I think the Dolphins have a chance to win outright. I'll take the points.
Chris?
Yeah, and Miami's always a team. I'm a Patriots fan. I'll tell you, Miami's always a team we struggle with. We lost outright to the Dolphins in the last 3 of the last 5 games. I'll take Miami here.
How about you, Rod?
I agree. It's just too many points here. So many unknowns. Give me the Dolphins +7.
You just rarely see Cam Newton blowing people out. Speaking of Cam Newton, you got the Panthers up against the Raiders. This line moved from a pick'em to the Panthers +3 as a home dog. Coach Rule making his debut today in Carolina up against Gruden. Carolina's got some secondary issues as well. I really hate that Panthers secondary. I like a lot of the things that the Panthers have going on. I think Teddy Bridgewater, good manager of the game. Probably a welcome change there in Carolina. It fits Rule's system a lot better, but that secondary in Carolina, and you know that Gruden's going to know about that secondary, and he's got Ruggs now. It's like, uh-oh. I like the Panthers a lot more than I like them now, but I still like them. How about you, Brian?
This line opened at a pick. Now it's at +3 Panthers. In the past, I've loved to fade the West Coast teams playing at 1 o'clock. It hasn't really worked so well the last 2 years. But here, I think Teddy Bridgewater has a big game, just enough to get the cover. I'll take Panthers +3.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Panthers as well. I like what they're going to have offensively with Bridgewater and McCaffrey, and I think they give the Raiders some issues here.
How about you, Rod?
Give me the over. I think we see enough points here to get over this number.
Here's an interesting one. The Vikings and the Packers. I think, giving Aaron Rodgers points is never a great idea. I always think Minnesota is one of the toughest buildings. It's so loud in that dome, but without the fans, I can't see it being nearly as tough. And Aaron Rodgers is just, he's the type of guy, he'll get sacked 9 times in the first half and come back and rally the troops, which we have seen him do. That game, the Golden Tate game, Aaron Rodgers was sacked 9 times in the first half of that game. He came back and rallied the troops and took the Golden Tate call to beat him. But this is a different game. This is the Vikings. Dalvin Cook got his money, so he's one little ding. He's gonna not really be playing anymore, right? It's like he just signed that big check. What do you think here, Brian? I like the Packers.
And when I first saw the line, I kind of liked the Packers about a month ago, but the closer we get to game time, I'm liking the Vikings here. Super talented team at home. I think they got more talent on the Vikings than the Packers do. So I know Aaron Rodgers is a guy that you don't want to bet against, but in this case, I'm going to go $50 Vikings.
I put a couple bucks. I didn't give this one out as a premium. I gave this one out. I believe it's my dog of the day. I put a couple bucks on the Packers here, and I just think that even if the Packers come up short, I could see this one, even with a 2.5 point spread where the points could factor. Anyways, how about you, Chris? I think he's frozen. Oh, now he's unfrozen. Chris, Packers, Vikings.
I think you're right. This 2 points could play into it. I could see it being a 23-21 game. I'll take the under.
How about you, Rod?
I agree with Chris. Give me the under. This division battle will be lower scoring. Give me the under.
I respect that the Packers cut all their linebackers after last year's San Francisco game. I really respect that. It was just like, you know what? We're never going to win with you guys. You guys have to go to the Giants. It was like, that's pretty much what they did. They're just like, you'll be playing for the Giants next year. It's like the entire linebacker core. We've got a big line mover in recent days here. Atlanta Falcons, always a crowd favorite. I mean, this is always the sharp team. And last year, the Sharps, the last 2 years, Sharps have really gotten destroyed on the Falcons. Brian, Falcons against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. I kind of could see the Falcons as a dog, but as a pick 'em, I do not see it.
In this game here, I'm going to lean towards the under. I think we see uncharacteristically improved Falcons defense, and Seattle's normally stout on defense. I'm going to lean towards the under.
How about you, Chris?
Give me Seattle here. I like Russell Wilson. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder after yet again not getting a single MVP vote last year. So I'll take Seattle.
Yeah, this has got that 1918 written all over it. Rod?
It does have 1918 written all over it. Give me Seattle here.
Yeah, Seattle's always one of those teams where it's like, this is a weird thing. It looks like terrible, and it's like, it never looks good, right? But they always seem to get it done. We got the Jets going to Buffalo. I've been critical of Gase, since he came out of the womb. And, here he is with his Jets in Buffalo, a place where he catches a pretty good break, a double break here. Number one, he catches this game early in the season, right? So he doesn't have to deal with the Buffalo weather. And number two, catches it without those Buffalo fans. And I know in the old days, I'm not sure if they still allow this in Buffalo, but used to be allowed to bring in a quart of the beverage of your choice into the old Rich Stadium. I don't know if you're still allowed to do that. It was like a quart or like a half gallon of the beverage of your choice. It was like, it could be vodka if you wanted to. I don't know. I think that I'm going to guess that after 9/11 they probably did away with that, but I'm not sure. But Buffalo and the Jets, the Jets were a team that went heavy free agency last offseason, not this one that just passed, the one before that, never had the chemistry of all those guys. Now Le'Veon Bell's probably healthy. They probably, it's like the Jets might actually be a little better than I'll ever give them credit for. I don't care. I'm not betting on a Gase team, but that's you. Brian, what do you think?
Lots of public love for the Bills, and I think in this case I'm going to side with the public here. Buffalo, if you can get that number 6.5, don't go past 7 though. Take the Bills here slightly.
Yeah, it's not a love game, that's for sure. How about you, Chris?
I think there's going to be a lot of tables spared from the Bills Mafia this season in those tailgate parties. But, I like the Bills here as well. I just think that the Jets might have actually gotten worse in the offseason.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I like the Bills here as well. Give me the Bills. Cover the touchdown.
You got the Cleveland Browns up against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm personally offended that Baker Mayfield acts like he's relevant in the football landscape and acts like he's allowed to even have an opinion. And the fact that the press even covers this like he is an important person or an important player in this league is offensive. It's just downright offensive. I don't understand how this works, but somehow Baker Mayfield's comments make the press. I don't even get it. This guy stinks. They're gonna get housed. and I'm going to enjoy it. I don't have a premium pick on this game, but I have a bet on this game, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to enjoy it. Cleveland's going to get housed. I mean, and it's going to be Baker Mayfield's going to get pounded because he stinks. What do you think, Brian? This one's personal.
I think in this game, I'm going to side with the under. I think Cleveland's defense plays better than it has in prior seasons, and Baltimore always tough. You're going to see a lot of running the ball for both sides. Both teams are going to be running the ball heavy. So I see a fast-moving clock. Give me the under.
Yeah, there's an odd thing. I'm gonna go ahead, Chris and Rod, and then I'm gonna ask our audience some questions after this because there's a new thing that I have to do, and it's messing up my statistics. But anyways, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the over here on the other side. I just think it slightly goes over that number. I think I'm seeing 40, 49. I could see it going up to 50, 51. I see it being a 28-24 or 31-20 kind of game. Give me the over.
For me, I like the Ravens here. Good old Ravens ass kicking to start the year off. Ravens got better. They didn't get worse.
Yeah, so the question I have for the audience really has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the games or the shows. It has to do with the show, actually. What happened is that the software that I use, they make me use this thing called YouTube Events. They're changing the format from YouTube Stream to YouTube Events, and I see that there's 423 people on our YouTube event and 66 people on our regular page. I have to look at our regular page now to see, but it's like anyone see anything different or have a different experience joining our show today on YouTube? That's really the question. I don't really understand this stuff, and I'm gonna have to eliminate the stream option, is because YouTube's taking it away. They're only gonna allow for this events option. Is there any difference on your end? Just let me know, and we'll always work around it because it's something different for me. So, because I see the numbers alternating. Like if I look at my counter here, it says there's only 237 people watching. But if I look at my counter on there, it doesn't count the 430 people watching us on the YouTube event. Which is, I don't know if that means that it just doesn't show on our YouTube page, or what does that mean? Anybody? I don't even know. I have no idea. But if you guys can help me out with that in the comments or in the Facebook group, or email me, mitch@pickdogs.com. Greatly appreciated. We got the Washington football team up against the Eagles. Don't dare say that other name because not allowed to say it, even though everybody said it. But it's forgiven. Yeah, it's showing 64 views on YouTube, but the event shows, right? It's just weird. So weird. Anyways, Brian, what do you think of this one, the Washington football team?
As far as non-premiums go, this is probably my favorite pick. I could see Washington easily winning this game against the Eagles. Definitely take the points here. Worth a solid $100 play.
How about you, Chris?
I'm going to side with the over. I think this one easily goes over that number.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I think that's too many points in this division battle. 3 points. Field goal wins it for either one of these sides. Give me the points.
I wish I could show you guys what I'm looking at, because it shows on our live 520 people watching, and on another one 120. So it's like we're on two different YouTube things at once. It's like two different shows at once on the same channel. Way weird. I can't figure it out. But
it doesn't look any different on YouTube from the other end.
No?
I'm looking, and I don't see anything. There's still a number there. On the Pick Dogs channel, it says 435. I'm not seeing anything different. It looks the same from this end.
All right. It doesn't matter. We're still here, We got Ruffalo. He just I know why he was it looked like he was sleeping there, or he was frozen, but he was actually watching the mechanics of the Colby Allard pitching motion, just so he has that down for next time out. It's like, it's like Allard pitches, he's in. Chris, Washington football team against the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the over here. I like the over.
How about you, Rod?
I like Washington plus the 6.5. Too many points.
Last year I took the Washington football team. They opened. This game was at Philly last year, and I took it on the show, and people just hammered me, and they ended up backdooring them. I think Carson Wentz is my least. Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz are two of my least favorite players in the NFL. At least Matthew Stafford kind of doesn't say anything, right? He kind of he's not good. He gets paid a ton of money, but at least he doesn't say anything. Carson
I think
Wentz,
my worst bad beat came against Redskins and Eagles last year. It's the second game in Washington. You remember where the quarterback got hit as he was throwing? He fumbled it, and Graham took it back for a touchdown. Cost me a Redskins cover. That was my worst beat. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's I just think I just think that this is a long comment. Thank you, Arthur, for the comment. It's got those. So. No, but thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I like Washington here. I can't stand the Eagles. And I hate Doug Peterson as a coach. Originally, I really, really liked him, and I thought that a lot of his play calling in that Super Bowl against the Patriots was gutsy. But I think a lot of it, but that thing is, that's a game where you kind of have to leave it all out there. I do, and I think that he was in situations where it called for those kind of plays. But I think in a generic game, and in a generic situation, that 3rd and 7 is 3rd and 7. It does not call for a 45-yard out pattern. It does not call for it 65 or 70% of the time. You have a good tight end. You have him go out 9 yards and turn around, and you throw the ball in his chest, and then you start over again. That is how it works, okay? And maybe call me a traditionalist, and call me an idiot the 1 out of 100 times that play works. Your receivers aren't good enough to run that play. Maybe 4 years ago when you won the Super Bowl, they were, but they're not good enough anymore. Your receivers are not good enough, and you didn't even get the guys you wanted in the draft for receivers. Brian.
I think they had 2 stud tight ends. I think Goddard's pretty tough to stop, too, along with Ertz, those 2.
Right, but I'm talking about the receivers, right?
Yeah.
This is still a bad receiving core. You drafted Nelson Aguilar, right? And you expected him to be a star. This guy can't catch a cold, man. I could guarantee you he's never tested positive for the corona because he can't catch anything, man. Can't catch anything. He absolutely stinks. And so they go out. They wanted Ruggs. They thought they were getting Ruggs. And he would have been a great fit. No way. They didn't get Ruggs. They didn't get Jerry Jeudy. They got nothing. They got the leftover guy that's going to be out of the league in 3 years. That's what they got. It's kind of like when the Jets drafted Calvin Johnson's replacement at Georgia Tech. It's like, well, this guy came after Calvin Johnson. Yeah, but it's still a wishbone offense. I don't care what you say. Yeah, but Calvin Johnson came out of that. Yeah, a little different, right? A little different. Yeah, Eagles are just a mess, man. I really don't like this team. Way overrated. Carson Wentz, really a bum. B-U-M. And I know I'm going to take some heat on that, but I don't care. Show me something.
If you pull up his statistics, though, he has.
I don't care. I'm not a fantasy player. I am a sports bettor. And I know when my chips are on the table in the big game and when it really counts, this guy isn't on the field or he doesn't perform up to those levels. They lose games that they have no business losing.
Yep.
If they were playing Detroit this week, I'd be on Detroit. 6.5 points on the road. You got to be kidding me. Lions and the Bears. Speaking of the Lions, Matt Stafford. Is he still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, Brian?
Boy, I can't imagine that he's still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I don't know for a fact. I haven't looked at contracts.
I don't know.
Isn't Mahomes the highest after that giant contract he just signed?
Yeah, Mahomes, then Watson, and then Russell Wilson.
How much is poor Matthew Stafford making a year these days, Chris? I would like to know how much he's making per snap. Is is where we're going with this.
give me a second. I'll get it.
We're gonna figure out how much per pass attempt that good old Matthew Stafford's been making the last few years. Anyways, Brian, we got the Bears and the Lions while Ruffalo's doing our research for us.
That would be why Matthew Stafford hasn't opened his mouth. He's been all nice and quiet. He's been like, yeah.
Well, they show him like on private jets with Matt Ryan, his buddy, right? They're both like massive contracts.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean to the under in this one. I don't see the Bears scoring too many points, and the Lions really not going crazy on offense. So I think it creeps under the total.
Getting some major heat here in the comments from the Carson Wentz hating. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just going to call it what it is. And the thing is with these guys that I call out, like you, Darvish, you come in, you do your thing, you do it. I'm the first to give you credit too. But I've seen nothing from Carson Wentz. The Eagles won a Super Bowl, but not with Carson Wentz, right? It was addition by subtraction. It was Bryce Harper, not Carson Wentz. I mean, Bryce Harper is like the Nationals got rid of him. They won the World Series. Carson Wentz went to the sideline. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. It's addition by subtraction. Speaking of subtraction, Chris, who do you like in this Bears Lions tilt? Brian, your camera, like you're kind of in the I don't know what it is. It's weird.
I like the Lions here because I'm not going near Mitch Trubisky. But Matthew Stafford's contract averaged $27 million a year, and his last full season back in 2018, he threw 555 pass attempts. So for an average of about 48,000 a pass attempt.
Oh my God! And you wonder why tickets to NFL games are so expensive. What's the price of parking at the Lions Stadium at Ford Field? That'll be the next question. Who do you like in this game? We'll go to Rod, and then we'll find out how much it costs to park at Ford Field these days. And you'll see how Matthew Stafford is paying, how they're paying for this Matthew Stafford contract. Rod?
For me in this game, everybody always is like, oh, Trubisky sucks. Well, the one team that Trubisky actually plays well against is Detroit. He's 3-0 against Detroit and completes over 70% of his passes. I'll take the Bears on the money line here over Detroit.
The other thing I'd have to say about Trubisky, as critical as I've been of him over the years, right? Since the day he was drafted, right? Because I was like, how can you draft a guy with 1 year experience, and trade up and all that? So it didn't make any sense to me. Is that when they let when Trubisky has had no success is when they've told him to stay in the pocket. When they've told him to go ahead and run and play your game, he's been great. So you have to give him that mobility. He's not a pocket passer. You want him to be a pocket passer, but he's not. So it's like if they give him the freedom to do it, he can play. Got the Jaguars against the Colts this is the mundane game of the day. This is the one I've heard the least about. I hate Minshew. I think that was I mean, you don't have to keep Nick Foles, but I mean, Minshew is not an answer for an NFL QB. He's the answer. He's like, I'm surprised he's not on Dancing with the Stars with Baskin. It's how in the hell does Baskin get on Dancing? It's like, let's really dig. Let's take Chriselle from Selling Sunset. Let's find the most B-list celebrities we can get. Baskin, Neve from Catfish. Okay, it's like. Throw in Connor. Anyone got an in on Gardner Minshew? It's like
let's bring in. We have to have an NFL player. Let's bring in Connor Cook.
Brian, you Dancing with the Stars or Phillip Rivers and the Colts?
I think you see a better game from Gardner Minshew than Phillip Rivers. I mean, I thought Phillip Rivers was shot last year with the Chargers, and just too many people betting the Colts on the road laying over a touchdown. I'll take the Jags at home.
How about you, Chris?
Price of parking at Ford Field on game day, $10.
Oh, really? No way.
That's good.
That's way deal. Cheap. The Dolphins like $30.
$40 if you want a tailgate, but $10 for just general parking. I'm going to lay the points with the Colts here. The Jaguars are going to be drafting Trevor Lawrence at the end of this year. And I think it starts here.
So a couple years ago, like everyone knows, like I love college football. So like I know all the players, and like most of my friends that play fantasy, they'll ask me, who's the guy, you know? This year it's the guy, and I can't even remember his name off the top of my head. It's the guy who drafted out of Ohio State that plays for the Ravens, right? The running back that I wanted the Dolphins to get. Right? He's
J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, he's the guy, right? This year, easy, right? I mean, that's the easy one. But the guy who was my pick a few years ago was Paris Campbell. And this guy has not come through. But I could see with Phillip Rivers him actually coming through here. I could see this one kind of like he's I picked him, right? He's still out there, right? He's still in the league. He hasn't performed quite to the level that we had thought, but he's still out there. You know, he's still in the game, and he hasn't had a ton to work with. I like Paris Campbell, man, but I really don't like. The Jags seem to want to break it down and then build it back up, and usually those break it down, build it up teams get waxed in the first 3 or 4 games, like really waxed, you know, like the Dolphins did last year against Baltimore type games, you know, and you got Paris Campbell with something to prove. You got a healthy T.Y. Hilton, you know, you have a healthy running game. I think, you know, I don't love this game, but I don't know, man. I think it becomes a blowout. Maybe we see Jacob Eason, you know, maybe we see him. I see. This is where we got cheated on preseason. Who didn't want to see Jacob Eason, man, slinging there for the Colts? We got the Chargers and the Bengals. The Joe Burrow show is in town in Cincinnati. Local guy comes home, plays QB, wins the Heisman, cashes my Heisman ticket. That was a monster, right? I showed that ticket. Monster. No one had Joe Burrow until like. Yeah, like, you know, when everyone was saying Joe Burrow was going to win the Heisman, like 8 games into the season, right? It was like a little late to get the price that we got. What did we get? Plus 150 on him? I don't even remember. It was like was he plus 300? Or plus 3,000, plus 3,000, right? It was like 300 to 1 or something I got on that. I showed the ticket on the show. I wonder if I ever cashed that thing. I have to look. Got I must have. Well, either that or it's a good keeper, right? It's a good keeper. We've got the Bengals against the Chargers. The Joe Burrow show. You know, a lot of times these home, you know, I could see if there was fans in the stands. You know, maybe Joe Burrow having the thing, but what I see is a Chargers defense that's got teeth. And what I see is a Chargers team that doesn't have Phillip Rivers to throw the interception anymore. But the Bengals defense not bad. But I think Atkins isn't playing. That's a problem. Big problem. Right?
This game and the Bills-Jets game are 2 games that I didn't bet at all. But if I had to bet it, I would take the Bengals at home plus the points. I think they get it. I think they win outright. But we'll see.
A lot of times what you'll see is like the guy will have the big game early, you know, in his career, and then he goes through the learning process. So I could definitely see that angle, but there's also like, you know, the Bernie Kosar taking his first snap in Cleveland and the ball goes through his legs. I think Peyton Manning too. Same thing happened to him. First snap, ever he comes in, the ball goes right between his legs. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over. I think you know, they're going to be the Bengals going to be Joe Mixon heavy, at least for the first little bit of this one. They won't make Burrow play hero ball just yet, but he's going to make some plays, and I see the Chargers making some as well. So give me the over.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take the Chargers here. That defense is still really good, and the Bengals defense not so good.
I should maybe this was my year to play fantasy football. It'd be Mitch's fantasy football sleepers. I also like Pittman on the Colts.
I took your sleeper last year, Mitch. I don't know. The Darrell Henderson. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, well, I think we have to get a team. We have to get a sports chat fantasy league going.
Well, the problem with Henderson is that he ended up in a crowded backfield, and now they got rid of Todd Gurley. So
I think this year you'll see him come to the top a little bit.
I mean, in Memphis, he was a home run hitter. He was a touchdown every time. You know, you're not going to have that in the NFL, but he didn't really get his opportunities. You know, it's like you have to get the opportunities to get the chances. And a lot of times the rookie running backs do get their opportunities if they earn them. But he was in a tough spot. You're up against a guy that's making $10 million a year or something. The coach has to put the other guy in. He has to. Gurley was making
maybe we'll see a little
that,
bit
right?
of him in the night game tonight. Little Henderson.
Yeah, why not? Got San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo up against the Cardinals. Man, I think it's really interesting that there's so much money on the Cardinals. Actually, this line got pushed down. I saw it go higher than this, and now it's back to a touchdown. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know. Brian, talk some sense into me here. I don't know.
I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I think the Cardinals are going to have an up year, but I think Niners are getting no respect here. And if you can get it at 6.5, I would bet Niners here.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on Arizona in the points. I just think that Kyler Murray's going to make this an entertaining game. As much as I like that San Francisco defense, I think Arizona hangs here. So give me the Cardinals and the points.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I got to take Cardinals and the points too. This is a division matchup. It's always closer than a touchdown. Give me the Cardinals and the points.
Yeah, I'm on the other side here. I just think that the Niners are going to come out with something to prove. They remember their last 5 minutes of last season, and they have guys that can prove it up against a team that it's still, they're still the Cardinals, right? They got Hopkins. They have, Kenyon Drake looked really good last year. Is he still on the team, Kenyon Drake? Did they re-sign him?
Yep, starting running back.
Yeah, I don't know. So he looked really good, like a good acquisition for Miami. Of course, we got him in the picture back here. But I don't know, man. I just think the Niners have I could see the Niners winning by 50 as well. I could see it being a close game, but I could see them winning by 50. I think that, when you have a team that performs well and the first year after, like that they go to the Super Bowl, is usually not when everybody leaves. After a while, the San Francisco team, everyone will be too expensive, right, to keep the team together. And that's, the same with Kansas City, right? They're just too expensive to keep the team together. So what will happen is they'll start to pare down. But I think what the Niners have done outside of the receiver, right? Samuel's out, right? So that's big. He's their best receiver. Outside of him being out, a lot of the subtraction that they've done is probably helps their team. And kind of like with the Rams, it's like get rid of Todd Gurley. That's addition by subtraction. It's kind of like you take those pieces out that, it's kind of, you have too much, you have too many guys. And I think that they did that. I don't know when you trade your starting defensive tackle that was kind of a superstar that necessarily does it, but they must have felt they had something there that they didn't need him. And that they were going to get a ton back, and they did, right? Speaking of a ton back, Saints and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady makes his debut in Tampa Bay uniform, goes up against the Saints, who played in a lot of really close games. It's right, like being that most people think they have this electric offense. They play in a lot of really tight games. Pretty good defense, and here's another team that they got rid of. The cornerback from that the Giants had drafted from Ohio State.
Eli Apple.
Oh yeah, they got rid of him, and they replaced him right with a superstar. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but it was kind of like we got rid of him, but we got somebody really good. They got somebody really good. I forget who it was. I'll have to look at the depth chart. It's been a while, but we'll get the names down. But we know the general gist of it. Brian, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, guys. This is one of my premium plays. I'm going to give it out for free. I really think the Saints put a whooping on Tampa Bay. It takes players a little while to gel together. I think getting 3.5 just looks like a trap with Tampa Bay. So I think the Saints come in there and take care of business, get the bad taste out of their mouth.
How about you? They got Janoris Jenkins. That's who they got to replace Eli Apple. I would do that trade 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Chris?
Twice on Sunday. Yeah, I think if you get any total under 50 here, that's a steal. I think this one soars over the total. I think this one could get closer to 60. Give me the over.
How many snaps until Alex Anzalone gets injured?
3.
All right. How about you, Rod? Who do you like in this one?
I agree with Brian. Give me the Saints here. Bucks are all hyped up, and I'll go against that hype. Give me the Saints.
And the thing about Anzalone is it's not a swipe at his talent. It's just this is a guy that tries so hard. He's always injured, and it's an effort thing. Steelers versus Giants game on Pick Dogs has the wrong info. It has the Dallas game. Huh. All right. Well, I'll have to find out who did that. Thank you. Appreciated. Not really the best place to let us know, but could have emailed it to me. Anyways, the Sunday night matchup, the Rams and the Cowboys. Cowboys are favored on the road. The line is dipping with 52% on Dallas. It's a slight amount, but Cowboys games, while the NFL games are always heavily bet, Cowboys games are really heavily bet. Brian, what do you think here with this dropping line with the Rams? Everyone knows I hate Goff, but I'll tell you what I hate more is the Cowboys on the road, man. It's like they lost to the Jets last year.
The Cowboys on the road, especially laying some points, usually not a good place I want to be. I think in this game you'll see both defenses come to play. I think it goes under the total.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. Give me the under here. That's way too high, I think. Teams that like to run the ball.
Chris?
Yeah, I like the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys win this one by at least a touchdown.
Okay, the Cowboys at the Saints. They covered last year. They beat the Washington football team on the road. Then they lost to the Jets on the road. They beat the Giants on the road, which was basically a home game. They beat the Lions on the road. They lost to New England. They lost to the Bears. And then they lost to the Eagles in what was essentially a playoff game on the road last season. I don't know. I think getting rid of Todd Gurley was the best thing the Rams could have done. I never loved that extension of that contract. I thought it was crazy. I think the extensions that these running backs are getting is nuts. Nuts. It's like the running backs are not the key players. And Brian's a fantasy football player, so he'll tell you running back numbers, running backs are just don't have the value that they once had, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, we don't see many Emmitt Smiths anymore where a guy plays 15 or how many years Emmitt played at a quality level. So.
Yeah, you just don't see it. But so everyone that's watching the show, it's like I said, my stats are all messed up because this YouTube events thing. But I know that we have, 700 people watching us or something. So if you guys could smash the like button, greatly appreciate it. Takes you guys a half a second, costs you nothing. If you're watching us on a phone, what you have to do is shrink the comments. Then you'll see the option to hit the like button. And then once you've done that, then you can just click the comments. It'll come right back up on the screen. I don't have my phone with me. I'll show you exactly how to do it. 20,000 people banned from our YouTube channel. So that's actually these subscribers. That's a number that we passed yesterday. Everyone knows my goal is 10 million, but I'm still pretty proud of that 20,000 in less than a year. So I appreciate everyone that has taken the time to subscribe to our channel, join our shows, and hit a like button. It's way appreciated, man. It's like, I don't think you guys realize how much time, well, you guys probably do realize how much time I spend in the studio doing those videos every day. Anyways, we got Major League Baseball today. We're going to go through the card really quickly because we've been on the air for quite some time now. And we know that, a lot of people are here for the NFL. But let's get through it. Max Scherzer and Kyle Wright, Brian. Nationals, Braves.
Rapid fire picks coming up. Max Scherzer's been looking. He was a stud last time. I think 7 innings pitched, near shutout. I'm going to take Nationals -1.5 here.
Chris?
Yeah, line's dropping, but that just means more value on the run line. Give me Washington -1.5.
Yeah, Kyle Wright's a bum. Rod?
I agree. Give me the Nationals on the run line.
Got John Means and Jay Happ going at it. Yankees and Orioles. Man, the Yankees kind of squeezing out wins here against Baltimore. I liked Baltimore yesterday. Lost a couple bucks on that. Kind of added to the pain. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, all the values on the Orioles again today. Means didn't do too bad last time out. I'm going to take a chance on Baltimore here.
Chris?
I'm going to take the under 9.5. Normally I see Means and half and think over. I think both show up here. Give me the under.
And Rod?
Both Means and half showed up last game and gave up one run. I'm going to go the over. I think they go back to their ball card, and we see this game go flying over the number.
God, someone said to give you a line of Coke.
Who?
It's Chris.
I was going to say,
Chris is
I
like,
don't know about Coke, but I have Pepsi.
Chris is like, I'm down. Yeah, all right.
Why not give me a pick me up?
I'm down. Sixto Sanchez is pitching today. We always go with Sixto. Brian's Marlins, Phillies.
I can't pass on Sixto Hernandez. He's been pretty rock solid. Give me the Marlins here.
Sixto's kind of our guy, Chris. You're going to go against him?
Not a chance. Give me Sixto and the Marlins here.
How about you, Rod? All Sixto all the time?
Yeah. Make it unanimous.
It's all Sixto all the time on this show. We got Martin Perez against Charlie Morton. Red Sox, Rays. The Rays actually see glass now. Made it interesting yesterday. You couldn't even lay the run line with them and get effective. But what do you think, Brian?
I lost with the Red Sox yesterday on a small play. I'm going to go back to them here. I'm not laying this kind of juice with the Tampa Bay.
How about you, Chris?
I'm taking the over 8. This total's really low for Perez and Morton. Give me the over.
How about
I agree.
you,
Give me the over.
Brian, side question here, fantasy football. I know you're a fantasy guy. Who's the guy that was it could be a rookie or could be a guy that maybe an underachiever of the past. Who's the fantasy guy that becomes a fantasy legend today? Like the guy that everyone's trying to trade for. He might be on rosters. He might not be. Who's the guy? Is it Ruggs against that Panther secondary?
Give me 5 minutes to think about it.
All right.
All
right. I think it could be Paris Campbell, but anyways, and it could be Ruggs. It could also be Michael Pittman Jr. Chris,
if we're going for week 1, I was going to say Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy too, but against that Titans defense.
Yeah, but I think the Broncos are going to have to be throwing for a lot of that game, and I think he could have a big game.
I'll tell you who is also really good on the Broncos, who could be the sleeper, is Hamler, the second round pick. That guy is good. It's like that guy is really good, man. It's like he basically took on Ohio State by himself, backdoored them, right? Rod,
I got an answer for you. Noah Fant, Monday Night Football for the Broncos. You see him establish himself as a really super tight end.
No one likes a tight end more than Bittler. We've got Rod. Who do you like in the Rays versus Red Sox? Charlie Morton and Martin Perez.
Over.
Chris, did you give a pick here?
Yeah, I like the over.
All right. I like the Rays on the run line. Got Brad Keller and Chad Kuhl, Royals and the Pirates. I tell you, I bet the Royals a little heavy yesterday because I had lost a couple of bets I chased with the Royals. I put them on the run line. It was thank God. I think, but the nice thing was they'd probably still be up if they would let them. Brian, who do you like here? Keller and Kuhl. The Royals are rolling, man.
I'm probably going to put the kibosh on the Royals because I like them today too. I like Keller. Give me the Royals.
We didn't skip the Raiders. Went over them.
No, we got it. Yeah, give me the Royals on the run line. I like Keller more than I like Kuhl.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, give me the Royals with cheese. They just keep winning. They sweep the Pirates.
So I'm getting a little bit of hate here for my Dalvin Cook saying that he'd lay down after signing the contract. Let's just say that Dalvin Cook isn't really known for playing full, complete NFL seasons. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, Tristan McKenzie and Michael Pineda in Minnesota, the Twins pushing the Indians around here. The Indians now 26-20, the Twins 29-18, and the White Sox now running away with the Central. It's craziness, and it's all because of the Twins' dominance here of the Indians and this young pitching staff. But the guy who's supposed to be going to be the guy, right, is there today. Tristan McKenzie up against Michael Pineda, who always has a big smile on his face, but I'll tell you, he always seems to get rocked. And, Susan Waldman, who calls the Yankee games, she always said that about Michael Pineda, is that here's a guy who loves playing the game, and he always looks happiest when he's on the mound. And it's true, The problem is that he's always in a bad matchup at a big price, right? He's always like way over bet, and it's like he doesn't really have those kind of career numbers to justify it. He's minus 130 against Tristan McKenzie, who had a bad outing last time. I think we just get more value on him. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, bounce back with McKenzie and the Indians today. Give me a little bit of plus money.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under here. I could see this being a 4-2 game. I'll side with the under.
How about you, Rod?
I'm going to take the Twins. Give me the Twins for this week.
All right, we got the Chicago White Sox. Jonathan Stever on the mound against Spencer Turnbull. Break up the White Sox, man. This team is, like I said a couple weeks ago, this looks to be the American League team in the World Series. It's going to be them or the A's.
And using Detroit to warm up some prospects the last couple of games, too.
Yeah, it's like...
we'll use Detroit as a little prospect build up.
Oh, nice. We got a fight going on in our YouTube comments. People are yelling at each other. They're not yelling at me. Smash the like button, guys. Smash it. I love that saying. I don't know who said it. Like someone in our comments always says it. Smash the like button. It's like, where are we? We're on the White Sox still. We got it already.
Give me the Tigers today. Spencer Turnbull on the mound. That's a lot of plus money. I think Tigers win.
Chris?
I was waiting for the soundboard to be broken out today. Give me the White Sox on the run line.
How about you, Rod?
I think I said White Sox by a football score. I think they did that yesterday. Same thing, White Sox by a touchdown.
Got the Brewers and the Cubs. Adrian Hauser against Alec Mills. The Brewers super disappointing last night for me, but I still think that I like him here against Alec Mills. I like everyone against Alec Mills. I'll take Matthew Stafford.
I think this is the best bet on the baseball card today. I had the Brewers yesterday and lost, but I'm right back on. Take the Brewers.
How about you, Chris?
Now on the Cubs here. I think the Cubs are the better team. So, and even with Alec Mills on the road, I like the Cubs.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take the Brewers here today.
Oh, God. Here's my comment of the day. Thank me later. He takes a favorite on the money line and says, thank me later. And so
take Raiders on the money line. Thank me later.
Thank me later. It's like, who's the biggest favorite on the board? Thank me later. It's like, take the Ravens on the money line. Thank me later.
Take the Colts minus 400.
Yeah. Thank me later. So that means if they lose, we get to kick you in the teeth, right? We all get to find you and kick you in the teeth. Is that how that one works? I'm on Twitch. We're on Twitch. No one ever watches on Twitch. We are on Twitch. We are there. I don't know how to do it, but we are on there every single day. I think we've had 2 people in the last month tune in. It's always the 6 o'clock show. It's never us. Yeah, that's just when you see the viewer counts on that, that's just on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on everything else. And that's just on one YouTube channel. We're also on the Sports Chat YouTube channel. So we have 1,000 people watching us or something. Something crazy. Texas and Oakland, Lance Lynn is on the mound here against Andrew Heaney, minus 160. Oh, man, that is... Anyways, Andrew Heaney at minus 161. It's kind of like a... what's his name? The guy with the king of the one-liners. Henny Youngman. Andrew Heaney at minus 161. Brian?
Wait, what?
I think we're on the Lance Lynn Freddie Montas game, right? The Oakland Rangers.
Oh, I'm on the wrong game.
I'm going to go with the Rangers here at home, plus money. Can't pass up Lance Lynn this week.
Maybe it's that Heaney at minus 161 that I can't get out of my mind here. How about you, Chris?
give me Texas here. I like Texas in the plus money.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'll take a shot at Texas here.
I like Texas. I like Texas also. Carlos is pitching for the Cardinals, one of the biggest underachievers on the planet. Carlos Martinez up against Tyler Mahle for the Reds. This has been a weird series, right? What do you
Reds
think,
all day today. Reds all day today.
Yep. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Reds as well.
Reds.
We have a consensus.
Don't forget to buy our consensus report under the live show tab, premium picks. Get our live show best consensus play.
Yeah, best of the live show. I think
best.
I gave out my NBA pick in there. The
Yep.
best of the live show.
And there's a football or two in there. So.
And I'm number one. NBA.
I'll get you next year.
I've said it twice in one show. That's really bad. Hyun-Jin Ryu against David Peterson. Well, Dana Lane gets to say that he's number one in baseball all the time. Hyun-Jin Ryu against David Peterson. We got the Blue Jays up against the Mets. Spread Knowledge loves the Metropolitans in this one. Brian?
Good old Peterson. I'm going to go with Rue. Give me the Blue Jays here, lay 1.5.
Over-under for packs of cigarettes smoked by Ryu in the first 4 innings?
2.5.
Marlboro Reds or Pall Malls?
He's already through one in the clubhouse right now.
It's like, what exactly did you change this year, Rio? He's like, I went from Marlboro Reds to Pall Malls. It's like, it's a big change.
What are those real thin cigarettes? Capris that women smoke?
I don't know. I quit smoking a long time ago.
You watch. He's going to get suspended for conduct detrimental to the team because he smacked one of the clubhouse guys for bringing him a carton of Camels.
The Keith Hernandez used to always smoke in the dugout. You know. He was a smoker in the dugout. There was a lot of guys that used to smoke. Dean Smith, the coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, used to sit on the sidelines of the court inside the arena and smoke. I mean, you used to be able to smoke in the stands like at arenas. You used to go to a game, you'd be able to just sit there and smoke. Didn't matter. Dean Smith used to smoke on the sidelines. Like all this stuff that they talk about, the great Dean Smith. Total smoker. Chris?
Yeah, I like Toronto on the run line here. I like Ryu.
Going against Spread Knowledge. Rod.
Ugh. The game I don't like. Definitely not running to the window to bet this. I'd have to lean the Jays, but the world's on the Jays. Give me the Mets.
I'm so far behind on the comments. We need a moderator. Some people, but you are seeing that there's 2 different streams, right? An event and a thing. So in the future, we're only going to have the event. We're not going to have the other one. It's just that's what YouTube is going to let us do, the way that we do things. It's saying that we can only have the event.
Well, I do see that. There's 2 different channels, and you got 90 on one, and then 400 and something on another. 451 on one, and 90 on another. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, we're only going to have the event, I believe, because YouTube by the end of the month they're going to do away with the. They have 2 different things on YouTube. One is called Stream Now, and one's called the Event. And I don't really know the difference. I don't care as long as you guys can watch us. If you want to watch it, if you don't want to watch us, well, then you don't have to watch it. It doesn't bother me. But we've got Luke Weaver and Dunn on. Oh no, we got Heaney at minus 161. Brian.
Give me the Angels. I think they're trying to scare you off of them. I'm not betting more than $50, but give me the Angels here.
Imagination. No, I'm going to take the over here. I think both
like,
Heaney and Castellani get lit up here.
Yeah. Rod?
I'm going to take the Angels, too. Do I get sprinkled with dust, too? Yeah. they cracked a 3-run home run and beat them.
This is going to be your bankroll.
That's just some of the coke that was left over from earlier.
See, I'm the kind of person when I see a line that just, man, what's up with that line? That makes me just want to bet it. The worse it looks, I don't know. That's me.
Like, I haven't been roasted on the Angels enough this season. Brian's like,
the Angels and the Reds.
Brian's like, how many games have the Angels lost this year? 28? I've only been kicking the balls 26 times this season. It's like
Angels and Reds are my two big bugaboos.
It's like Brian's been kicked in the nuts by the Angels more than anything.
Well, I haven't been kicked by the Angels yet, so I'm going in.
It's a first time for everything.
Speaking about a kick in the nuts, Luke Weaver's pitching today, up against Justin Dunn. Everyone knows I'm a big Dunn guy.
I'm going Mariners here.
I'm going Mariners reverse run line.
So I'm showing Padres Giants. Are they playing? I don't think so, right?
I don't see a line.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I thought it was. I thought the series was canceled.
Yeah, that's why I always get surprised when I see people put picks in on that game. I just don't. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're not playing the series.
Yeah,
they're playing. Looks like.
Really?
They're playing, but I don't have a line out yet. There's a chance they're going to play today, but I don't see a line.
The COVID cure in 2 days now. Oh, man. So frustrating. I love that the Big Ten is kind of like, oh, man. It's like, and the thing is.
We want to play.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that with the SEC not starting until September 26th, if they start the first week of October, they really didn't miss much, right? And they just don't take any weeks off. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're going to play a doubleheader today.
They are playing.
After 2 days of clean tests.
So Clevenger is pitching in the first one. We're definitely fading him, right, with the Giants?
I think I saw Logan Webb and Clevenger in the first one.
Yeah, we'll take Logan Webb in that one. How about you?
Depends what the line is.
I don't care what the line is. How about that? The Padres are going to be a huge favorite.
I'll tell you what. If I can get the Padres at minus 150 with Clevenger, I'd take it. But anything over that, I'd go Giants.
They're going to be like minus 200 easily.
Well, then we go Giants.
It's probably going to be around the minus 180 if I'm guessing.
Giants.
Yeah, all day. They're going to win this game outright. Cueto's probably the late game, too, because his game got canceled. It could be Cueto on Clevenger, or it could be Cueto in the late game against Lamet. Wasn't that the game that got canceled?
Yeah, Lamet's start got canceled.
Yeah, against Cueto. So I think I like Cueto in that one, too.
I think if you take the Giants at both games and bet equal amount, you should win at least one out of two of them.
Speaking of games no one cares about, the Dodgers against the Astros. They putting this one up against the Cowboys game. That's how much they care about this one. Anything here, Brian? I don't see a Dodgers.
Who the heck's pitching for the Astros?
Astros Greinke.
I'm gonna take a shot with the Astros again today.
He loves pitching in L.A. Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's TBD for the Dodgers, but I'll still take the Astros here.
You down with TBD?
Yeah, you know me.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take Houston here.
All right. We got the NHL. Man, 3 o'clock.
Did anybody see the picture of Chris dancing in the club that somebody posted in the Pick Dogs chat room? I really enjoyed that, whoever that was.
Oh,
Chris was like
the Vito. Yeah.
The Vito, yeah. Yeah, it's a Vito.
There was not supposed to be footage of that.
Well, it's out there.
The Islanders are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Rod, any hope for the Islanders? I just go with the dogs in every NHL hockey game. It's like so far it's been good to me.
For me, I think we get back to goals being a premium in this game. We got some goals last game. I'm gonna take the under in this one. I don't think we're gonna go flying over that number.
How about you, Chris?
I'm just going to take a shot from a value standpoint with the Islanders. I just think we've seen them do it once. So they have some confidence. They know they can get it back to 2-2, make it a best of 3 series. So give me the Islanders.
Brian, any opinion?
Islanders 2-1 today. I lost yesterday to Vegas, but I'm going to right back on the dog here. 2-1 Islanders today.
All right, it's everyone's favorite part.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have a button.
I don't know what some of these buttons do.
One of them's like a whoopee cushion.
All right. I think you can program. I think you can program these to say whatever you want. So I'll have to get some stuff that we say on the show and just be like, program them in. I'll have to find those instructions. Those easy to read instructions. All right. Parlay time. Chris? What kind of parlay are you going to do today? Multi-sport? You're going to do the NFL? What do you got for us?
I'm gonna go three money line, but I'm gonna go multi-sport. I'm gonna take the Denver Nuggets on the money line. I'm gonna take the Carolina Panthers on the money line, and I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers on the money line. Should pay about 20-1.
How about you, Rod?
For me, I'm gonna take the Bears on the money line, the Panthers on the money line, and the Seattle Mariners on the money line.
Brian?
Redskins plus the points, Panthers plus the points, Jaguars plus the points.
I like the Dolphins on the money line. I like the Panthers on the money line and the Packers on the money line. All right. I'll see you guys at halftime of the early NFL games. I'll be as soon as the first game goes to the half is when I'll have everything set up. So it might take me a little bit, but as soon as you see that first game that goes to the half, I'll come on. I'll start to get set up and come on live. I'll go on probably just a minute or so after that game comes on, and then after that, I'll stay on at halftime of the early games until the last game goes off, and then I'll also be here live at halftime on Sunday night. Thanks to everyone that's joined us. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed to our channel and smash that like button as well. Costs you nothing, takes you half a second, helps us a ton, keeps these shows free, and of course. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com here with your halftime show for the NFL Sunday Week 1. Pretty exciting stuff going on here. Got the first half of all of these games in the books, and now we're going to see what's going on for the second half. So, a lot of games going to the half now. We got 3 games at halftime. That would be the Dolphins-Patriots, which the line for the second half is New England -3. We've got the Raiders and the Panthers. The second half line is -1. So these are all right in line with what the original lines were. And the one that is the reduced line is the Colts at -3.5, even money against the Jaguars. Man, we could really look at these games and kind of see exactly what's going on here on NFL Sunday. What's changed since last year, what we might have forgotten since last year, and really just about everything else in between. Who's better, who's worse. Baker Mayfield, obviously, still Baker Mayfield, just absolutely horrible. The Eagles, Carson Wentz, you could see why he gets injured all the time. I mean, he's just getting smacked around back there, for 17 points on the board. And then the Dolphins turning the ball over twice and only trailing by 3 points, or by 4 points in New England. That is really the real story here, is that offense in Miami and the offense for the Dolphins hasn't really done anything except for turn the ball over twice, yet they only trail by 4 points. The defense hanging in there. And the same thing in Washington where they trail by 10 and Wentz just overthrows once again, throws the ball 70 yards and 10 yards over his receiver's head. But we're seeing Carson Wentz get smacked around. one penalty there in that game has really been the difference in that game as far as covering the spread. I mean, the Eagles have pretty much marched on the Redskins a few times here, but there was a stop, and the Eagles ended up getting a first down on a somewhat hit to the head or something like that. The oddest play of the day, of course, Jamie Collins getting thrown out of the Lions game for showing what the referee would have hit with the crown of the helmet looks like as the Lions go into the end zone right here before the half. So a rushing touchdown, DeAndre Swift, his first NFL touchdown. We saw J.K. Dobbins get his first NFL touchdown earlier for the Ravens. I like the Dolphins plus the 3 points here at the half. I think they've played well. I think this game comes right down to it, and I think, for the second half, I could see the plus 3. The one touchdown for the Patriots, they ran down the field, but Flores has made some adjustments to the defense, and they've certainly have played that well. Meanwhile, I think the Panthers plus the 1 against the Raiders, this is a back-and-forth game. This could end right where it is at 2, and getting the extra point here. And now it went from Panthers plus 1 at even money to now Panthers plus 1 at minus 120. We're still seeing the Colts minus 3.5 for the second half against the Jags. The Falcons kick a field goal right before the half here against the Seahawks. We'll see how that affects the second half line as things start to get adjusted here. As more and more games will be heading towards the half in just a moment. Looks like it looks like the Redskins, Eagles are going to go to the half right here at 17-7. But that Lions touchdown right there was pretty big, I would have to say, right before the half. DeAndre Swift going in. And, Seattle has played really well, and there it is, 2-point game against Atlanta where the game it was 2.5, and then it was even as the Packers put a touchdown on the board right here, right before the half as well. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers as the Packers doing a number here on the Vikings. It's 21-7, the extra point, of course, pending. 19 seconds left to go in the Bears game. But welcome to everyone that's joining us. This is our halftime show. We do this every single week, every single year. Yeah, I think Miami, but it's not plus 7.5. I never saw 7.5 anywhere on that Dolphins game. If you got that, congratulations. I got 7 on it. Hello to everyone that's joining us. Of course, we're now on YouTube events as opposed to regular YouTube. I do not know the difference. I have no idea what it is, but they made me change it. So I did because I like them. But we got plenty of games here at the half or going to the half. The Eagles-Redskins is now at the half. Oh, Washington, excuse me. Not Redskins, but the Washington football team. People will hear me say that and they'll say, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. And the Dolphins-Patriots have now resumed play. So you have games where they're just going to the half, like the Bears-Lions, which and then you have other games where it's they're just going to the half. So we have another new line here. Seahawks plus 1 against the Falcons here for the second half, and the Ravens minus 2.5 against the Browns. I like that one a lot. That is one that I am in on, and I'm going to bet it right here. I'm taking the Ravens minus 2.5 for the second half. Love it. I think Baker Mayfield looks horrible. Meanwhile, that Panthers line is still at 1 with more leverage here going on the Panthers. And that Jaguars-Colts line hanging at 3.5. I don't love that thing, to be honest with you. I think the Jags have kind of hung in there. I would be a little worried if I had the 7.5. The real butt whippings that we're seeing out here are the worst beatdown that I'm watching. And even though it doesn't say it on the scoreboard, is the Well, I guess it is now. Baltimore up 24-6 on Cleveland. And the other one is Buffalo against the Jets. These are just two really, really one-sided games. Everything else has been fairly competitive. Some calls, some bounces, some first game stuff that you're seeing. And, the Patriots, Cam Newton actually completing a pass. They have run almost exclusively in this game. They have not thrown the ball much at all, but I'll look for I would look for New England to probably throw the ball a little more here in the second half now that the Dolphins are really playing the run. I don't know about his take on Washington. Not at all. Washington's right there. I mean, they're one score away. Considering how bad they played most of that half, they're one score away from a cover. And in the NFL, you're within 10 points and you're getting 5.5 plus. I kind of like that one. I actually like Washington second half in that game against the Eagles. So we'll have to disagree on that one. Let's see what the line is here. We got the Bears are -0.5 for the second half against the Lions. I like that one. And Washington +1.5 against the Eagles. That's +115 on the money line for that one as well. So another big one. I like Washington there, and I definitely like Washington, and I like the Bears on those two. So, ones that I am personally going for myself. And there you have it. But anyways, Vikings back on the board. 22-10 Packers in that one. New England trying to throw the ball here on the Dolphins, changing it up after the first half where they ran almost exclusively. Also, the Raiders and the Panthers are back on the field, so if you want to bet that second half, you got to do it now. So you don't have any more time to do it. Of course, I'll be on for Sunday night halftime as well. We got a few more games still pending at the half here, so I'll certainly hang with it. Any questions? Yeah, I still like the -3 for the second half. I wouldn't worry about that too much. This one's all Ravens, and now the Browns are going to have to they know they're going to have to throw. So you have Baker Mayfield in passing situations. That's bad. What's wrong with what? I don't know what I don't see it. Oh, I see, because I have it at 2.5, that game. The Bears -0.5. We have Ravens at -1.5. The Bills -3 for the second half. Dominating the Jets here. Just an absolute starching. The Seahawks +0.5. Washington +1.5 against the Eagles, which I like a lot. I like the Bears -0.5 against the Lions. I think this game's going to be close. The Colts and Jags. Colts 3.5. I don't love that. But that game has resumed, and now the Packers 3.5 over the Vikings, and what is a one-sided game. Of course, the Packers were underdogs in that game. We all took the Packers. They were my dog of the day, and now they're +3.5 for the second half, up by 12. So if you have the Packers like I do, it's a huge, huge middle, gigantic middle. That if you took the Vikings minus the 3.5 for the second half, you have a 8.5 point middle to land in, to hit both sides. So the Vikings win the second half 7-0. As the Patriots, Cam Newton, another touchdown here against Miami. Let's see. It's going to be close. It looks like his knee hit the pylon. So I'm not sure if they're going to if that's going to stand or not. But either way, the Patriots will have the ball. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I don't think the Eagles look good at all. They were the beneficiary of a majorly bad call. The Redskins have played horribly and only trailed by 7 points. They scored a touchdown right before the half. If I have the Eagles, I would say I'm in trouble, personally. I like Washington in that game. I think they have it. It looks like the touchdown's off the board in New England. It's going to be first and goal from the 1 inch line on the review here. I think the call is correct. It looked like his knee hit it. The best second half pick of the games that are still on the board, I like Washington and I like the Bears. I also like the Ravens, if you can still get it. Because now you have Baker Mayfield in obvious passing situations, down by 18 points. He's going to have to pass, and he's been awful. Absolutely stinker. The Ravens are just chomping at the bit to get another piece of him. It's clear they don't like him personally. I mean, it's basically, that's what it looks like. They have taken all of everything he says and does personally. They do not like him. But the Packers also dominating here against the Vikings. Anyways, I think we've about covered everything that there is to cover. It looks like that touchdown is off the board in New England, and they will be back on the field in just a second. Just add a commercial break in that one. I think the team that looks the worst today is the Jets. I personally think that if you think the Eagles look so great, what happens if that blow to the head that they gave the Eagles that first down on, that they ended up scoring a touchdown? Then it's 10-7 this game. And Washington also missed a field goal. So this game, is a lot more even than you would think. I'm live on YouTube. What's the issue? I have to do it via YouTube events now. So it's a little different, but people didn't seem to have a problem with it this morning, so I switched exclusively to YouTube events. So I'm not really sure. Ruggs did look good from what we saw from him. YouTube is not available. I show 67 people on there. Maybe for you it's not available, but it's available. It's available for sure. Jeff Jeter's on YouTube. See? Jeff, are you on YouTube? Are you on Pick Dogs or Sports Chat? Oh well, that's just yours. It's fine for the rest of us. Let me check my YouTube, but I'm pretty sure it's there. I like Seattle in that one. Pick Dogs YouTube is working, what people are saying. Well, everyone's on YouTube Pick Dogs except for you. Touchdown Patriots is what they ruled it. So Miami got to get back to work here. They have not really been able to muster a ton on offense. The 2 turnovers have really been killers. The passing game has been pretty much ineffective. Devontae Parker has looked okay, but that's about it. Raiders certainly got a lot faster. Oh, I understand all that stuff. I just think that, Eagles backers and fans are jaded anyway. It's like that's why it's usually pretty easy money betting against. Yes, I did. I already did take it. I already did. Plus 1.5, second half. Took it already. The Bills is now -3 at -125 against the Jets. Yep, Ruggs is back for the Raiders. He just made a catch. And the Dolphins get the ball here for the second half. And once again, more of the same. They really have a generic offense. I think that's the problem that the Dolphins have here. They're probably not going to win this game, but if they can get within 5 or 6, I think we're going to be lucky. Tua, they keep showing Tua on the bench because the offense just looks so bad. Just very, very generic. Tom Brady on the field in New Orleans. Boy, he aged quick. But Dolphins sticking with Fitzpatrick here. 3rd and 5. Wide open receiver. And almost intercepted again. So I don't see. It'll be interesting to see how long the Dolphins stick with him here. I'm number 1 in NBA. Diana Afdal. So that makes you a liar. Because if you look at our record, nope. I don't give losing bets. I don't give losing bets in the NBA because I'm number 1. Well, I don't win them all. But I'm also number 1 in the NBA at our premium area. You can check it out, documented. So that makes you a liar. It's pretty much. Right? Makes you a liar. So, nope. Makes you a liar, basically. Anyways, we're not going to sit here and even entertain this moron. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for our halftime show. Looks like all the games are headed back now. So I'm going to get back to watching them. And I will see you guys tonight for Sunday Night Football halftime. Have a great rest of the NFL card until I see you. And the Lions received the second half. And I think the Bears got lucky because there was a lane there on the return. But anyways, all right. I'll see everyone later. Enjoyed it. Have a great